Anytime I talk about Edinburgh to people, I say it's a very walkable city, and that's the way to see it, is just to wander around it. And with some cities, they say to really see them you have to look up, which is true, but in Edinburgh you could say that if you also want to see more stuff, look down, because it's a city built in layers. So I lived in MacDonald Road, just off Leith Walk, which at the time was very different. Now, you can't move for new flats. At the time, it was one side of the street was these lovely big tenement flats, and the other was depots and factories and warehouses. And I remember that they started demolishing the BT depot across the road from me the morning that I started writing Quite Ugly one morning. Every morning at about 5 AM, I would hear this rumble of a train out my back window, and I would wonder why it was only at that time. And there was a train line ran behind my flat, but it turned out it was a sewage train. It went to the sewage works at the end of MacDonald Road, and this stuck with me. It amused me. So in my book Quite Ugly One Morning, I have this hitman end up down on this line, and I think he gets one of his arms cut off by the sewage train, or his hand cut off. So the places I would see, I would just think, I must set something there. Some people will talk about the fact that Edinburgh has a public face and a private face that lends itself to crime fiction. But I think the fact that it's very cloistered and it's full of nooks and crannies. Whenever you walk around it, you can imagine secrets, you can imagine hundreds of years of sort of nefarious deeds going on, which I think is fairly inspiring. I think it brings out the darker side of your imagination, but for me the darker side of the imagination in a fun way, because you think, what are the secrets or what are the events that took place in any given location? Of late, actually, the most remarkable book I've read set in Edinburgh was Charles Stross' Rule 34, because it's set in the near future. I thought what was so remarkable about it was it's written in almost a sort of world-weary way. It's almost as if the people there are already taking everything for granted technologically, which is what we do. But it was so recognisably Edinburgh. You could see that this was what Edinburgh would be like in a few years' time.